Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez pit Batman and Robin against FAILSAFE one final time as Batman tries one last plan to try and stop the rampaging robot. Chip Zdarsky ends his first arc on Batman with a brilliant action-packed finale that continues his exploration of the Bat-God trope, which most writers fall into, and how, when utilised properly, it can be used to tell an engaging story of a vulnerable hero. I love how easily Chip makes it look to have Batman both do some amazingly over-the-top impossible feats like surviving a fall from space, as well as stuff like the character failing and not being perfect at everything, mere seconds away from losing his grip on everything he knows. It's really quite a fantastic way to show how being a hero like Batman, who's just a normal guy, is stressful as hell. The ending really surprised me, seeing as I assumed we'd all be finished with FAILSAFE and he'll just be relegated to one of the many new creations writers usually make that never go anywhere, but I enjoy that the robot is still alive and out there, as well as what he did with Batman, seemingly teleporting him away to what I assume is Crime Alley, or at least somewhere in Gotham. I'm looking forward to the close to death Batman continuing to be a thing in the next couple of issues, or at least the next story arc, and what Zdarsky is going to do with him next. Jorge Jimenez continues to knock it out of the park with some brilliant cinematic artwork, keeping up the tension and fast pace of the arc with some great action sequences involving armored up Superman and some classic Batman and Robin team up goodness. Batman's Spacefall sequence was a genuinely thrilling read through, as well as wonderfully painted with orange and reds mixed with colder blues and greens. Batman issue 130 was a thrilling and surprising conclusion to the FAILSAFE story arc, continuing Zdarsky's exploration into some big Batman tropes before ending on a very cool cliffhanger. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Batman issue 130 finds Batman floating 240,000 miles above Earth, his oxygen levels rapidly falling as he tries to come up with a plan to save his life. Bruce grabs his grapple gun and uses the compressed gas canister inside of it to propel himself towards a ruined Javelin ship, prying open the ship and taking its oxygen tank, replenishing his reserve. He knows that he can't risk going back to the moon since that's the first place FAILSAFE will look, so he salvages the ship's booster and uses it to quickly move through space, feeling the force of 9G. Batman figures with 60 small bursts from the booster, he should be able to get within 40,000 miles of Earth, but he only has a limited compressed gas canister in his grapple gun to help maneuver him, as well as his air. He positions himself for re-entry but passes out for a split second, losing his grip on the booster. The oxygen tank explodes from the re-entry heat, engulfing Batman in flames and smashing up his oxygen mask. He rips off his trunks and uses it as a makeshift face mask, remembering how he told Clark they were a good idea. He deploys his cape, hoping it will hold together, but he can't slow down too quickly, otherwise his insides will explode against his stomach. He manages to slow himself enough to plunge into the cold Arctic ice outside of the Fortress of Solitude, not stopping to catch his breath since FAILSAFE is coming for him. In the fortress, Superman awakens, leaving the solar radiation treatment capsule to tell Robin that he just heard Batman. Bruce arrives, wanting access to Superman's workshop. Robin demands to know what happened to Bruce since he wanted Superman to be kept away from him. Bruce says that he just fell from the moon, asking if Clark is okay since he'll need him to buy him some time with FAILSAFE, while he finds a way to end this once and for all. FAILSAFE is spotted outside, heading for the fortress as the now armored Superman confronts him outside, claiming that he is prepared for the robot now. FAILSAFE wants to put that to the test, saying that he knows all about Superman, even some things the hero doesn't know since, like humans, Kryptonians have certain pressure points. The robot presses some of Superman's pressure points in his neck, setting off the hero's heat vision. FAILSAFE tells him that it will weaken him as the heat vision blasts through the armored mask, exposing the Man of Steel to the robot's kryptonite shards. FAILSAFE says that Superman is a good friend to Batman, as in the fortress, Batman tells Robin that FAILSAFE is almost indestructible, but in the Watchtower he hit him with New Genesis Element X, creating a hole in his armor. Tim thinks that he's going to fill it with explosives and blow the robot up, but Bruce suggests that they access his programming with nanobots. However, a normal virus won't affect him, so the most they can hope for is that it will subtly shift FAILSAFE's traits. Robin asks what happens if that doesn't work, and what if he keeps coming since they're 1,000 miles from any help. Batman briefly thinks about his nightmare where Joker kills his family, wondering if dreams will come true, and if he dies, will his family live in his place. Bruce puts wipes it out of his mind, intending on saving everyone this time, as he tells Tim that FAILSAFE is designed to beat Batman, but it isn't designed to face against Batman and Robin. FAILSAFE meanwhile drags Superman towards the fortress, telling Batman there is nowhere left to hide as the heroes confront him, attacking the robot in unison. Batman knows that him and Robin have fought together loads before, but he knows this time is different since they aren't fighting ex-cons or mindless brutes like Killer Croc. They are up against Batman himself, one who doesn't have restraint or weakness. Batman wants to change that, managing to stick FAILSAFE with a computer virus, uploading the robot with something he doesn't have: compassion. He tells the robot that this is what separated him and FAILSAFE, since while he is the Dark Knight and is vengeance, he still cares, and now so does FAILSAFE. FAILSAFE runs off for the fortress out of control, and Batman wants to go after him to subdue him, since if he gets into the fortress, there are many dangerous items in there he could use. FAILSAFE stops, however, fighting the new programming Batman uploaded and saying that it needs to eliminate Batman, pointing a gun at the hero. Bruce hears Tim scream out, trying to appeal to the robot, but Bruce knows it's too late, and Batman, like everyone else who ever lived, he survived everything until he didn't. Bruce tells Tim that it's okay as FAILSAFE shoots him, disintegrating Batman. Robin falls to his knees, telling FAILSAFE that he was meant to have compassion, but FAILSAFE knows that was compassion, destroying the gun he used to kill Batman as he takes off into the sky, lamenting how he has finished his programming. Elsewhere in a dark, rain-swept alley, the severely beaten Batman lays unconscious on the ground, having been teleported by the energy blast.